Hi, I am Cyril Sebastian, and I would be telling you how to install Red Hat 7 on VMware Workstation 11. So let's start with it. I click on I am creating a new virtual machine and going for a custom installation. And I'll select the ISO which I have saved in my E drive local disk. Click on next. I choose Linux, Red Hat version 764-bit, and I'll be doing a custom installation, not in a C drive, but yeah, in E drive where I save all the VMware files as per the operating systems. So I have Red Hat folder here. I'll choose that. I'll press OK. Next, I select to have one core processor. Then I'll give it 1 GB RAM. I am assigning it 1 GB RAM so that my system RAM space won't be wasted much. I'm selecting network address translation for internet connectivity on recommended SCSI drive virtual. Creating a new virtual disk. I'm allotting it a disk size of 40 GB, and I'll be choosing VMware folder which I have stored here, and Red Hat 7. It will be this VMDK file, which is the virtual image disk, will be saving in my VMware folder itself, the local disk, apart from C drive, because it's also been used by the Windows operating system, and I'm using workstation, VMware workstation. I click on next. So hardware customization is fine. I click on next, and our virtual machine is ready. Let's power on the virtual machine and check how the installation works on it. Yeah, I'll maximize the screen for better viewing. So I have so it is asking to install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7.1. I'm clicking enter on it. Again enter to start the installation. The installation is loading up. Yeah, here it is asking for the language selection. You can wish the language which suits you, but it is recommended that you use English US language, because it would be more compatible with the commands we'll be using with. I clicked on continue. Here on the next screen we'll select the time zone. I'm from India, so I'll select India. I'm looking for a Kolkata option, but somehow Karachi, no. Yeah, here it is, Asia Kolkata. uh, Done with it. I'll also choose the time. It should be in, and the time here is, or here is 11:40. 11:10, and it's AM. Yeah, DD school. Done with it, and we won't be selecting keyboard, because we have already set as default language US English, and soft installation source we already have we have already selected ISO, and installation software selection would be server with GUI, or you can also go with minimal installation, which will be only at character user interface, and but we will be choosing server with a GUI, and we won't be installing any packages, as we can do it later on. And we are done with it. And now do let's installation destination. Whenever we go for partitioning the drive, we choose to configure it manually, because we in our big setup and all, we don't take a risk of getting it configured automatically, but we have to do it manually. So I'll choose configuring the partition manually. I've done with it, and somehow it is not giving me the option of I have to choose standard partition, but I need to allot the space. So I let me just see dragging it. If I click on done, it would ask me, okay, okay, I got this option to add the mount point. So we'll be first choosing slash boot, and we'll be assigning it 200 MB. So this has been assigned, and then we would be assigning swap partition. So swap would be the double the size of the RAM you have assigned. So we have assigned 1 GB RAM, so the swap partition can be 1048, sorry, 2048 MB, and the rest we can allot it to the root partition. And if we calculate, it would be, we can assign it as around 39 GB, because we have already selected 40 GB. Okay, now we are done with it, and it is asking to accept the changes which we have assigned. And if you see, by default it would be going for XFS format only in Red Hat 7, because earlier they were it was by default ext4, and now it is XFS. So we would be accepting the changes, and if you want to, you can assign the IP address and all, but I choose to do it later. So let's begin with the installation. We also need to set the root partition, sorry, root password. So I'm just typing in the root password. Done with it. And I choose not to create a user right now, but later on if I want, I can do it. And if you see, it is installing 20, it is right now on a 20th package from 1214 package. So it will take some time to get installed, and we shall see how much time it, I think it would take not more than 20 to 30 minutes maximum time. So as you can see, it is taking less time, because we did a minimum packages installation. So I think it would be installing all the packages, and the system will be server would be ready in few minutes, because it's a basic installation of GUI version also. And in the meantime, it also gives you privilege to create if multiple users would be logging in, and in the initial stage only you need to create users, you can create it. So it won't be prompting you to log in with the root user, but it will give you access to uh, log in with a user other users as well. Let's wait for a while, as the installation would be completed in a moment. I'm just waiting for a reboot button to appear. So after installation, it asks for a reboot, and I think it is just preparing the last minute setup. Yeah, it is configuring the system and writing the network drives. Yeah, the installation is complete, and you can see a reboot button. So we'll be rebooting the machine and we'll be logging in. if you want to create user again, it will be prompting you the user creation button. So if not, we can directly log in with the root user. So we have finished the configuration, and it is asking for a subscription management registration, but we won't be preferring this thing, and we'll be pressing forward on it, and we are just waiting for the login screen to appear. Yeah, it is asking again for the installation thing. So we'll be selecting next. It is a mandate thing. I think it is asking for a local user account to log in. So I would be giving my name, and I'll keep it short, Cyril. I'm adding my credentials to it. Yeah, everything else is ready. We'll be starting with Red Hat Enterprise Linux server. We'll be asking to prompt with the user credentials soon. Just waiting for the screen to appear. Yeah. Yeah, since we don't need any startup tutorials, we will be closing it. Yeah, adding wire to it. It will be taking right now from the DHCP, and we can see how it is very different from Red Hat 6. And the installation is all over completed. It has enabled by default SC Linux in it. And it has also given a view like we are using Ubuntu OS. So if we go to browser and check the internet or open other applications, like we open the terminal window, yeah, we clicked it on twice, so there were two windows. And if you go to activities overview, see it has given us a platform like a Ubuntu thing, and it has inbuilt everything. This time Red Hat has come up with a new version which with a new view itself, and that is it. This is how the installation was done, and we'll be proceeding with coming up I will be coming up with tutorials which would be helpful for you to use Linux in a much better way. Thank you for joining me.